Wagwan. Welcome to another episode of the group chat. Today in the group chat, I got my twin in them, JayRay. Ooh, you can say hey to the people on. All right. All right.
All right, what's going on, y'all?
So yes, Jay is a new friend of mine, but feels like an old friend. Like we've connected since last year in 2024, and we've been having some really good conversations ever since. So, yeah, y'all might see a couple old episodes releasing with he and I, but we're in a new space, new year, so a new little vibe. Now, to give a little background on Jay, share a little bit about, so he just graduated college, so share a little about what you went to school for and your major, to give a little bit, get the audience to know you a little bit.
Well, I went to Morris Brown Elementary to pertain a degree in custodial work. I know, I'm just joking because I know you was looking at me like, what is he talking about? I was waiting for you to stop me. You just gonna let me.
And then okay. Okay.
I'm joking, y'all. I went to Piedmont University back in 2022. At the time, I think I was the age of 2022. So for anybody out there that's scared to pursue their dreams and they feel like they're maybe midlife or it's too late, it's never too late. So I went to Piedmont 2022, decided to go back to school after a couple years of gap years and all that good stuff. And graduated 2024 with a bachelor's of arts, two bachelor of arts degrees, one in mass communications where I want to focus in radio, personality specifically, and then film and documentary production. So yeah, we just graduated 2024 December, fall semester.
Nice. So congratulations on graduating. You know what I'm saying? I definitely want to give a shout out to that. And our topic for today relates to, life after college,
Okay.
right? Granted, you're not fully there yet, right? You're just stepping out into it. So we're going to talk about, some of the things centered around what it looks like navigating that independence and versus like the support that you had in school. Jay also have a podcast, guys. It's called Real Talk Radio. And on his podcast, he shared a graduation episode that touched me in a few ways. Seeing him a bit vulnerable, talking about like his experience and being prepared to come out into the real world, and someone who have been there, leaving the comfort of support system where it comes onto like a school, the school system rather, and then stepping out into adulthood. Right? Y'all all know the best hood to live in. Now, can you share what was your biggest fear about leaving school and stepping into the real world?
I don't know if anybody thinks about this. Now that I think about it, I don't know if anybody thinks about it like this, but having school as a crutch. I don't know. For me, when it came to networking and trying to get my name out there, trying to, build connections with people. So before I got to this point, I could see if I could land me a job. But holding on to the crutch because there's something about when you tell people you're in school, people that are when you tell people that are in the industry who you're trying to connect with, and let's just be honest, potentially take their spot or just ask them for opportunity. It was that crutch. So I think that was the scariest thing because even now, I just say I graduated and it's still, I feel like this allows people, it when they hear me say it, that's when they're like, okay, I'm interested now. Versus in a couple of years, I'm not gonna be able to use that anymore. So I knew that was always the biggest fear for me. So I knew I had to establish myself and really build a foundation before I graduate. That's another thing they don't teach college kids is build your foundation before you graduate. Don't just graduate and then start applying to this stuff. Build connections first. I mean, that's the most important thing because when you get out there, let's just be honest, that's why people think college is a hack so much now because you go there for 4 years and you go out in the world and they're like, no, you don't have enough experience. 4 years of college isn't an experience? What do you mean?
Right.
I've been studying what what you doing right now. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, yeah, that was my biggest fear. I just feel like I wouldn't get opportunity without the words, I just graduated or I'm in school or just me being correlated with school. Yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned that about, college kind of like being a hack. Because I also heard that too, like when I was, preparing for college to some extent, and where it's like that's where you end up building your network. You know, college is a great place to network. You meet people that are in the same field as you. You know, you get to like engage in some different level experiences from compared to like high school and stuff like that.
See, I wasn't gonna laugh until you laughed.
You was holding
I
it
was
back,
holding-
and
I
that's why I
was.
bust out. It's cool, y'all. My dog in there trying to get our attention because she in the house by herself.
Our producer's gonna take care of it. Our producer's gonna take care of it.
But yeah, so now I want to take a step back now, right before we jump into everything that happened after college, that happens after college, and that can happen after college. Did anyone in your family go to college?
On my mom's side, I believe so, but I'm not too sure on the specifics. On my dad's side, yeah, no, I'm the first on his side, first of the family on his side of the family. So yeah.
Congratulations on being the first. Yes. See, that right there is a great thing. Yeah. Like it's really something to. I know they say we shouldn't be prideful, but it is something to be proud about. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I am proud of you for being the one to kind of like break that threshold in your family generation. So that means, you're opening up the door for everyone to come after you to know that, hey, it's possible. And that, they also get an example and an experience of what it looks like to have gone to college and get to hear firsthand story. So, right, a couple years from now, your great-great-grandkids going to be watching that video of, your great-great-grandkids going to be watching that video of, your graduation video and be like, dang, that's what he went through when he went to college. Now I want to go, or I don't want to go. You know what I'm saying? But it's gonna be with like some solid experience and some solid advice. Yeah. Right? Because going to or not going to college, like there's pros and cons. So I feel like people should have a choice. Yeah. For me, I have a cousin that did go to college and graduated around about the time, like a couple years when I was going into college. I didn't finish.
What did you go for?
Criminal justice.
And we're gonna wrap the group chat up right now. I do not talk to the ops. Matter of fact, let me take this little speaker off right now. No, I'm joking. Okay.
That's crazy. But yeah, I was going for criminal justice, and I did high key want to be an op, I guess, if you will, for several different reasons. And it was something that I was one of those people who watch like a lot of those like
I could see now
special victims unit.
I could see you in a police officer suit. Twin, I ain't gonna lie, you look fire. I can see you.
I thought about that too. I would look really good.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. And also like it was something that I enjoyed like watching some of the shows and like solving. I more so wanted to be a detective than just an officer. That's where I was going. Because I do like, the putting pieces together in the puzzle and that, overthinking things. That's my specialty. Like, detectives overthink. That's how they get to the answer. And I'm out here just overthinking nothing. Okay. But, so that's what I went for. However, I didn't finish because like life stuff happened. And then the home support wasn't there. I didn't know anyone else that went to college. And when life started happening for me, it made school hard. Because my last semester, I flunked out. Yeah. All 5. I just stopped going. Yeah. Because it was just like, why am I going? Right? So now it did help me to kind of like shift my perspective on the like why. Why? Yeah. And then when I realized too, some years after that, I encountered some, people who shared some things about like when it comes on to really building the life that you want, don't just jump into a career or a college program without actually looking at the lifestyle that's going to come with that program. And then that's what I took some time to think about. Like, did I really want the lifestyle of a detective? Like, I'd be tied to that job. I wouldn't be able to have a life. I wouldn't be able to raise my son the way I have.
You're constantly on call.
You know what I'm saying?
All that type of stuff. So
while it would have been great if I'd finished and pursued it and it would something to break that threshold in my family dynamics, it's not like the finish line. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? There's still more ways to navigate life. So now, which actually like brings me now to my next question. How was that conversation with like your family, or let's say your dad specifically, because I know you share a lot about your dad and like career stuff and stuff like that. Yeah. Do you feel like you were pressured to go into school, or you just knew that I wanted to pursue that program because I was passionate about it, and I'm going to go ahead and go.
It was a couple of factors. Definitely, yeah, my dad. And we talked about, it's crazy we talked about this when I had finally started to gain a rhythm going when I first went back to Piedmont. It was funny because we talked about this, and we we talked about this at one of our family gatherings with another one of my cousins who had just graduated recently, and he was having that, spit spat with his mom about going back to school because she knows his habits, and she knows she's not despairing the fact that he can succeed in college and his intelligence and his skills. It's like his maturity. And that's how I was. And it's crazy because me and my dad talk about that almost every single day now, about how like the way I went now, like after he kind of let go, he didn't give up. He just let go because he was kind of paying like my tuition anyway. So after that, you don't play with a black person's money,
right.
Especially a black parent. And when he did that, and I kind of had the freedom to actually start thinking for myself and like start moving with a purpose, we both realized, and that taught us like, yeah, he shouldn't have pushed me, and then maybe I would have came up with the idea of going to school for this earlier.
In the beginning.
The second thing was, and I don't want to make it too personal, but I just want to be honest. I had a girlfriend at the time who was on her way to Howard University. At the time, I thought it was a prestigious school. Not that it isn't. It's a big school. Everybody wants to go there, and it's a pretty thriving school. But I can't let that no bomb. You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping 100. You feel me? So after that, I gotta get in school. I got into school, and yeah, it was those two pressures. But most definitely. Did I answer that question? Because I didn't know I answered the first half. I definitely know I probably did.
I mean, for the most part, again, this is just a chill conversation, right? Trying to focus on a specific topic here. I've come to the place where I'm trying to not overthink as much, right? Especially when it comes on to like this podcast. And the whole concept of the theme, the group chat, is to have chill conversations that you would have in a group chat with just your friends, right? So I know you touched on the topic as far as like the question is. I honestly don't remember what the question was because that question came up on the wing. I'm flowing with it. Because the initial question.
Oprah.
Initially, I wasn't even going to do a set of questions because we have conversations so much, and like I do remember again, your episode, your graduation episode, and just want to be able to talk about that stuff and feel like, man, we can have that conversation without a list of questions. But of course, I still put a list of questions to keep us guided.
Because you're overthinker, she a cop.
Yeah. So now, okay. All right. So now, without the support of now we're about to jump back into like the fast forward. I just want to touch on the back end of things first. Okay. What pushed you into going into college and stuff like that, and then now after graduating and stuff like that, now opportunities coming up. What has it been like stepping into like those resources and connecting or networking with people now that you don't have the like, hey, I'm a student and I'm trying to learn and I'm trying to learn from the student aspect, and now it's just like, I'm an adult actually actively doing and pursuing these opportunities?
Honestly, I still use it. I just graduated, which is, I don't know, for some reason they still love that. I don't know, like I won't really probably get to really experience what it's like, what you're talking about, until like maybe 2 or 3 years down the line, unless say Cumulus Media fires me, and now I got to go really make a name for myself out here, Cox and stuff, prove myself. But for the most part, I still kind of use it, but I don't use it as a crutch like I used to. Like I actually, like what you've seen today, when I was on live earlier, let's just break it back down. And I'm gonna try to stay on point, stay on the question, and keep it summarized. So Tuesday, I introduced myself to this lady that's connected to another guy I'm trying to network with to get on the station I want to get on. And man, it's almost like looking back on it, I was like, dang, I did handle that well. Like 4 years ago, I wouldn't be able to do that. I would have been like super overthinking it. I would have been nervous, but I literally went in there. It's like, hey, I just graduated. I graduated this. I want to do this. These are my goals, and this is what I want to do for the station. And you see where I was today, which is Thursday. And today I was not doing anything crazy, but she was kind of showing me how to use the board, doing stuff that are signs of like, all right, they might allow me to, pursue my dream, be on air. But yeah, it was like a crazy feeling. Looking back at it now that you asked the question, what was the question? This is why I hate it. Okay.
No, that's what I'm saying. This is not an interview.
Okay,
We're just having a
but
conversation.
I just need to start answering questions.
But no, it was talking about like the networking now that you're outside of the school.
Oh
life,
yeah. Pretty much, like? I haven't. Like, I don't think I'll experience it for real yet. I'm low key thinking like it's like what you said with school and networking. It's taught me to network so much and like how to do that. I think people just start to genuinely like me because I add that sell myself, but not say I'm the best on the best. I sell myself, and then I throw in a little, you know how I get personal, and people love that because I did throw in personals that I was like, you know, I'm not thinking of leaving, but I have opportunities outside of here. But I love Cumulus. I want to see what y'all have in store for me because if I know nothing's promised, but if there's opportunities where I can prove myself and it's a possibility I can work myself up to where I want to be, I want to stay here. But I want to give everybody a fair shot. And I was surprised when I told her that because, you know, the other opportunities are their competitors. So she could have easily closed the door and be like, no, go with them if you already think about it. But nah, she took me under all of them really been taking me under their wing. And now it's kind of like they're kind of trying to keep me. I don't want to say that, you know. But that's how it feels ever since I told them.
Awesome. So, yeah. And I think the key thing to take from that is that, you know, your college experience helped with the confidence to network and go out there.
Yeah.
One, having studied the craft for one, you know, and getting to do some hands-on projects and stuff like that. And then now you're like, okay, I did this, you know, so now it's just like a different arena, but it's still the same thing and you're confident in that. And, you know, I did kind of like was thinking of a follow-up question as far as like, do you feel like you'd have been able to gain that confidence had you not had the college experience? But before you answer, you know, I'm realizing that, okay, that's where I was planning to like kind of also share a little bit on my end as well. Okay. Having not completed, you know, college and also in a field where I don't have a college degree for, or, you know, doing things that I don't have a college degree for. And reflecting on me learning how to network and, you know, developing the confidence to be able to go out there with people because I can effectively network as well. And it came from literally just getting out there and doing it because I knew that I wanted to build a network for business purposes, right? And not necessarily just a career. You know, granted your program is leading into like, you know, business and stuff as well. So it will differ for some people who are getting a degree for something that can only give them a 9-to-5 versus opening up various doors. So I do want to share with, you know, for all of our listeners, I'm not against college and I'm not, you know, against not going to college. I want to highlight the fact that there are different avenues or different paths or different roads to get to your destination, right? Because I don't regret not finishing college. It would have been great if I did, but I'm just like, I found something that, you know, I found a path that works for me and it works without having a college degree. You know, so you can do that. And if you are going to do that, make sure it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Because college does definitely have its benefits. And I remember my son's godmom, you know, she kind of like asked me if it was okay for her to share, because she, you know, got her doctorates and stuff like that. So she's like, is it okay for her to share with my son about, you know, college and the benefits of it? And I was like, yes, of course. Because sometimes I do talk, I have my negative, I do have my negative perspectives on the school system as a whole, not necessarily college, no. College serves its purpose. But I'm talking about the educational system, how it, again,
we'll say that for Real Talk Radio. I didn't know you want to talk about that. I would have write that down. Lord.
Yeah, because I've came through the college, you know, the school system and realized that like it was created to build employees. It wasn't created to build free thinkers, right?
Real quick. Check out Real Talk Radio. We talked about that. We can elaborate on it more. I just talked about that a couple months ago with she's actually a school administrator, like not an administrator, but she works in res life. But she's been to college herself and she's been working in different positions within college that helps grow students or whatever. And we were talking about that. We talked about that exact same. I can't remember what it's something. It's I forgot the title of it.
What episode?
But if you roll back,
we can link it in the bottom of this one.
Got you. Yeah.
So yeah, I'll definitely link the episode he's talking about on the bottom of this episode. And you know, coming through the school system, that's why like I don't regret my decision of like, you know, not finishing, or I don't regret not having the willpower to finish or whatever you want to call it. Because the school system was created to, you know, to create.
We talked about this American Dream.
Yeah. And not necessarily just saying creating employees or creating good employees, because there are merits to being a good employee, being able to show up on time. You know, because we know how it can help, right?
All of us.
So the skills that the school system teach you are good skills that are effective, but it also limits one's thinking. And it doesn't allow creative thinking, it doesn't allow free thinking, because it puts everything in this box. And then now that's why a lot of times kids will, that's why actually earlier the question about like, you know, did you choose to go to school or were you pressured by your family? Because I was pressured to go into school. Granted, I did want to, you know, do that. I've picked something that I enjoyed, but I was pressured to go into it because no one else did it. My mom was like, nobody else did it. You know, you have the opportunity. I had the
you mean that type of pressure? Well, okay, was it more of like, do it because nobody else do it, or do it because you need? Well, you know, I know how foreign parents is.
Yeah, that's
goes to college or not.
It was like, you know, that's the American dream, to come here, get an education and get a high paying job, become a lawyer, a doctor. Again, these are great things. I'm not knocking any of them. But again, it just limits your thinking and feel like there's only one route to take, and you know, it's the college route, and that's not the only route to take. And I feel like there's a lot of people who go into college again with that pressure, like this is my only way. This is my only option, but they're not enjoying their college experience, and they do not know what they want to do.
On top of that, I used to tell my dad that. Now, I should have said that earlier.
And that's why I was bringing up your dad, but I think I asked the questions wrong.
No, you didn't. I was overthinking it, and it was kind of broad. But when you put it in that specific, just I'm gonna get this off my chest. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but it's bringing back stuff where I'm like, dang, I remember I told you me and my dad used to get into it about that, and I remember telling him, like, the dudes I go to school with, they're still cool with some of the dudes that used to go to the school or that still go to the school. And those dudes that like already graduated have like a 4-year degree in like cybersecurity, but they working as a manager at Kroger. You feel me? They've told me that sometimes this degree ain't really worth it. It just depends on where you go, what you want to do. And it's like you said, I never put that in perspective like that. I always said, like, make sure you choose the right school, make sure you choose the right path before you go into school. But I never thought about look at the lifestyle too. Like, can you live that lifestyle? But that's also, and this is where my overthinking comes in. You can't measure too, because like I said on my other episode, everybody has a different journey.
Of course.
Yeah, because like I ain't gonna lie, I'm talking about it in my next episode. Y'all check that out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like I never thought life would come this fast for me. It ain't like, you know, they're coming at me like, we need you to be the #1 morning show of our show right now. We're giving you the keys.
Look at your radio voice. Okay. I see you. Okay.
Yeah. It ain't like Tyler Perry coming like, hey, I want you to take over Tyler Perry Studios. But it's like, I know people that had to like scrape from the bottom of beer just to get where I was this evening, just being in that room, learning how to do this, learning how to do that. You know, next week they want me to go in as a board op for one of their biggest shows on the station, just to like be a backup for the guy that already does board op, but they're also asking me to voice stuff to see how it's like, I'm you know what I'm saying? Like I had conditioned myself to, before I graduated, to like, okay, don't be like, it's a process. And this feels like a process, but it feels like I done skipped a couple of levels. Stuff. So it's like, yeah, it's your journey is your journey. Like everybody has a different journey, man.
And it's funny you said that. I was having a conversation literally today. I was in the hair salon, and the lady that was in the chair before me, you know, all three of us end up in a conversation.
No, of course, when you there.
Oh no, seriously. I mean, she also my friend too. So shout out to my loctician. She's actually in the episodes that you guys will see before this one. So yeah, shout out to her.
Okay.
But we were talking about, you know, they were talking about like paying students as they were like kind of working as a side hustle just to, you know, get some experience or just because the opportunity was there. And she was like,
hair students or just?
No, not hair students. Her daughter, actually. So my hairstylist, her daughter, she was working. I'm not going to get into too much of the details because it's not really my story. Yeah. Right. But just kids working and then being underpaid.
Oh, so they're just paying them just to be in the shop.
Just to, still don't have nothing to do with the hair. It's okay.
Oh, okay,
it's
never mind.
Don't overthink it. Yeah. I'm sharing context without like talking about nobody's business, right? Okay. So the point of it is like, I'm gonna bring up to the point.
Yeah, don't bring no details.
So you know, she was just talking about like kids working in a certain space and then being paid like basically minimum wage, and just like the work is worth more than that, and you have the capacity to pay them more than that, so why would you not pay them what they're worth? And the other lady was just like, you know, sometimes because she worked in HR, she's like, sometimes you got to think about it. Like, there are people who have degrees that are getting paid, round about the same amount or less than that. So it's kind of like to humble them and to like let them know they have to work to get to that point of a higher pay. And I was just like, so why is it that we have to be humbled when we go into the workspace just because? You know what I'm saying? And it's only in our community as well as let me not just say only our community, because I can only speak about our community, but I know about the experience from our community where it's just like we have to struggle from the bottom to get to the top every time. We have to really struggle to get to a mid-level most of the time. When in other spaces and other families and other cultures, other communities, they have the opportunity, they have the connection like, hey, my son not even he graduated in 4 years, can you put him on? And he's already working and getting paid. And he's like, well, shoot, I don't have to finish the college since I'm already getting the pay. And they didn't have to go through that struggle experience. So why is it that we're always accepting to have to struggle? So I'm only sharing that because you were just saying like you wasn't expecting to not have to struggle to get the opportunities that you're getting. And we as a people, right, again, the whole key here is like focusing on self-awareness and like the power within yourself. But we as a people have to start expecting the things that we really want. So you should have came out of school expecting that opportunities could be landed on your feet, and then being okay if they did not, and then still working your way even if you had to struggle to get it. But you should be able to expect the things that you really want out of life, because it's possible. And you literally just shared that you wasn't expecting it, and then look at you stepping out of college and having opportunities available to you. And that's how it should be. And what's holding us back as a people, this is not the direction I meant to go.
No, you're going in the right direction.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Though I'm no longer overthinking my episodes. So that's what I'm just like, I had these questions here, but the whole thing is to just like have a chill conversation and allow it to kind of like flow. So we should be expecting the things that we want out of life, and I think I lost my train of thought a little bit. But expecting the things that we want out of life because it's available to us. You literally just shared that it was available to you, and we are holding ourselves back by expecting to be humbled, expecting the bare minimum, expecting the lack of opportunities, because our mindset is what's putting us in positions. If you go out there and expect that you will get, if you wake up. And right, this is like a success principles. If you wake up thinking I'm gonna have a crappy day, guess what? You are. That's it.
You put it out in the open.
That's something that I teach my son every day. That there is power in your belief. There is power in your thoughts. There's power in your tongue. Right. So if you get up and be like, I'm gonna have a good day, guess what? It could rain. You could lose some money, something, but you could still have a good day just because you woke up with the intention to have a good day. Right. So I don't know who needs to hear this, but be intentional. Set intentionals and expect what you want out of life. There's a quote in the book, I believe it's in The Go-Giver, where it says, you do not get what you want out of life, but you get what you expect. And when I read that book in 2018, I'll never forget, because that was a whole nother experience one day I may share. But in the book, I'll never forget that line. It says, you do not always get what you want, but you get what you expect. I'm paraphrasing. It's not worded exactly like that, but pretty much exactly like that. And ever since I've learned that, I've started to expect the things that I want. I don't expect the bare minimum no more. I don't expect I mean, some things you can expect when you know, like, okay, if I'm dealing with, a certain type of people, I can know what to expect from those type of people.
But that's what I was saying. But I was gonna let you. Only way I was gonna let you roll because that's true in certain spaces.
Yeah, in certain
like
spaces.
With me, I was expecting that only because, like I said, the summer before last, I had spent a lot of time with professionals, white, black, all. But I just know the story of anything within the entertainment business. That's why I say it's its own entity. It's so hard to get into. But with that too, we need to create our own spaces too, because it shouldn't be that hard. It is, okay, everybody has to struggle, but everybody struggles differently. Like when I met my struggle in radio, I mean, like if you listen to some of these old heads, they'll be like, and it was most of the jobs anyway. It's like, oh yeah, I had an internship and I had to work for free and then work my way up, connect with this person, and I finally got paid at this position and I finally got this position. That's not everybody's. Now for black people, most of the time we do have to work a lot harder because of our skin color and because of who we are. But we also condition ourselves to that's the only way of thinking.
That's the thing, yeah.
But I also think that like overthinking. Another part of it is we have to make our own foundations. We have to build our own communities together to where we don't have to kiss. I already talked about this Real Talk Radio. I'm not going. This show.
That's actually a point of the whole show here is to be able to build and create a space to one where we can have these conversations in a group chat that we don't normally have. You know what I'm saying? These conversations were had. My family wasn't having this conversation. You know what I'm saying? And now it's time for us to start having these conversations, because
Mhm.
if we're going to actually want to see change, we have to, the change starts within. And it's
Mhm.
like, that's such a cliche, because I feel like people have heard that so much,
Mhm.
but people aren't actually actively doing anything to really change themselves.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, I found out like through my whole journey and everything you telling me now is coming back and forth. When my professors or somebody ask me like talk to somebody, I'm like, damn, some of the most cliche stuff that we used to hear people used to tell us, like, that's so corny. Like, but now I think about it, it's like I have to say it's cliche, but like, do whatever you want to do. Like, you're only limited by your mind. Everything you're saying right now, I'll be telling people now. I'm like, dang, that's so cliche, but it's so simple. It's so cliche, but it's so true until you live it, and then you'll understand it.
And something I've learned too is like, history repeats itself. So there's I don't remember which book I got this one out of, but it talks about that, certain things may change, but it was either the principles or values that those don't change, right? So certain principles and values don't change. Success principles, they do not change, right? We've gone through different seasons, different time periods, different decades, and all these things, but principles and values still are the same. You know what I'm saying? And those are the things that really carry you into like whatever it is that dream life, or whatever that you want,
The
or
evolution,
change, or evolution, growth. So now, what does like what role does self-awareness play in navigating this new chapter? And how have you been learning more about yourself during this transition?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Okay, yes, I can. I'm gonna break it down into two parts as well. Okay.
You ain't gotta dumb it down for me. I had just lost.
No, not dumb it down. No, sometimes. Okay, I'm gonna work on my questioning.
No, it was a good question. It's just this is just me, y'all. Like, this is why I went to School of Arts and not a School of Comprehension and writing down stuff. Because as soon as I see a long-winded question, I'm like, go ahead.
And that's my problem. I be having long-winded questions and run-on questions. Like that's my problem. So I'm working on trying. That's why I was like, I'm gonna start, kind of like winging some of it, because a lot of them we actually touched on without me having to read the long-winded question that I wrote. But what role does self-awareness, right?
She's trying to play with me, right?
I'm not trying to play with me. No, I'm trying to also make sure that I remember, just in case you ask me, like, what's the question? Okay. What role does self-awareness play now in navigating this new chapter in your life? Now that we've had a lot of conversation where we talk about like self-awareness.
So that felt great. I knew it was gonna get me too. I'm gonna put
that back on. But it's to give some more space. Personal space. COVID happened and stuff. Like, we need at least 6 feet type. So yes. And that's the group chat. You gotta have fun in it. Okay. So what role does self-awareness play in navigating this new chapter? And like, what have you been learning about yourself during this transition? So talking about what have you been learning about yourself during this transition from graduating college, stepping into the career field, taking on opportunities, and all that stuff. What have you been learning about yourself?
That I can control my overthinking. I can definitely control my confidence, because as you seen today, you know what I'm saying? Like, of course, I got a little nervous once I got I put the live up and people actually started joining and watching and stuff and helping me create this content. But like, I don't get as nervous as I used to, because it's almost like like, it's not even just the tongue. It's like how you manifest in your mind too. If you think you're going to be bad at something, you're worried about it's going to be bad at something. That's what I'm saying is going to happen just because you're thinking about it. But if you go in here like, clear my mind, let me just go into it and see what it's like, bro, you can accomplish so much. You can accomplish anything. Like I said, I think now that I'm looking at it now, I was so surprised with all the opportunities that have been coming my way and everything that's been going the way I envisioned it way before graduation, is because that confidence was somewhere and I acted on at least some of it. And then, I don't know, I guess I would say luck came in a part of it, but it was somewhere that confidence was in me. That self-awareness was the self-awareness of me, like knowing I need to work on my confidence, but it was already being there. And then when I started seeing things happen for me, I was like, okay, I got to keep this going. Now I got to bring that confidence out. I remember I told you something about it's like just snapped in me. Like, I started to get my stuff together. Like, my punctuality changed, my certain habits changed just immediately once I realized, like, all right, I got a good thing about to happen. Like, I could just feel it, and I got to capitalize off it. I don't want to lose it. So
that's why I wanted to have this conversation with you, because you did tell me, like, it's like you came out of college and you hit the ground running. And so I don't believe that those opportunities were by mistake. right? They were ready. They were waiting for you to finish. And because they were waiting for you, and you kind of started seeing like, oh man, I got to tighten up. Because had they not come, you probably would have been discouraged. You probably would have gotten distracted. You probably would have started, going in all types of different directions and, losing your focus. But God was like, I got a plan for you. And so I'm gonna line this stuff up because I know Jared.
Yeah.
And if I don't give him some opportunities right now, he might end up in a whole different direction.
But that's the thing too, though. Like, and this is why I might start believing in spirituality. When I got the mindset of to stop being discouraged as much, like if something don't go my way, just adapt. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not the end all be all. You feel me? It just wasn't meant for that at that moment. Like get back up on that horse and do your best the second time. Soon as that hit, that's when opportunity came. So it might be, I might be coming to the spirituality side. Because it was at a point where, getting self-awareness, I was like, why am I so like, this is like, everything ain't gonna be perfect. Like everything, this is when I actually started like, we talk about it all the time, don't like believe everything you see. But I was still believing some of the stuff I seen online and stuff like that and all the success for people and how it happened in a split second. But like, once I sit down with people that actually in this world that's not on camera, and they're talking about their story, I'm like, dang, so this is how it happens. Like, you know what I'm saying? It ain't like, it ain't like overnight, you feel me? So I was like, I can't be discouraged. And the one thing too, that opened me up too, was like, when you get into these spaces with these people and you really just want opportunity. But one thing my other mentors did when I was going into finding new mentors, they were telling me like, ask questions. And I never understood it until I actually started asking questions about the business and then personal questions. Like one of my questions now, every time I meet a new person, is like, okay, I have like a worry about messing up on air. Well, they're like, we do too. We still do. I've been in this industry 40 years and I still mess up. And that brings you so much relief, just asking those questions and just coming to a understanding of like, bro, it's never going to be easy. No matter what entity you join, no matter what you go, it's never going to be perfect. It's never going to be good. Just do your best. And that's going to put you in a better mind state too, to where you don't overthink, to where you don't even mess up eventually. You feel me? So.
And I think that will help us a lot as a people once we start to realize that we all connect more than we are different.
Exactly.
Again, I believe it's in the bio of the podcast episode, if I'm not mistaken, highlighting how we all connect more than we are different. And you asking that questions, and then you start to relate like, okay, and that takes some pressure off of you instead of thinking like you need to come in here and be perfect or be someone that's not yourself.
You feel me?
You realize like I can show up as myself. I can be nervous. I can be an overthinker, and I can still succeed in this role or in this arena or in this environment. And another thing too that you said in the beginning was realizing that you can control your overthinking. I'm like, that's funny because I'm also in the midst of my own transition where I'm just like, I can't control my overthinking. I'm not overthinking this episode at all. And when I first started, which is another reason why it's taken me so long to start, putting out a new episode because I was overthinking it so much. And with everything, I was overthinking all aspects of it. And overthinking it stalls you sometimes. It's a pro and a con. I think everything in life, there's a good and a bad aspect to it. So realizing that, okay, overthink when you need to, right? When I'm trying to figure something out, and then start to be aware of when you don't need to. I don't need to overthink a conversation that I'm having in the group chat. One, it's my podcast. Who gonna check me? That's my favorite line. I knew you was gonna laugh.
You was on the way there.
You knew I was gonna laugh. Okay. And another thing too, when you said that, I wanted to share with you guys is that it's really important that the people that you are around, because a common theme in my life is that, and any of my friends can attest to this, is that I'll always be connecting with people that are talking with girlfriends, and it's just like, dang, I'm going through the same thing, and our lives align. And I'm pretty sure a couple of you are watching right now, like, you know what, she's right. I'm always with this friend. It's like we are always experiencing some of the same things, either some different variation of it. But if y'all are vulnerable enough and really talk, y'all realize y'all low-key living the same life, but from different perspectives. And again, that's why it's important to make sure you're around people who are trying to go somewhere in life or want more for themselves, or, whatever it is that they want align with yours, right? Because some people don't want more. Some people are cool with just the mundane 9 to 5 and, the regular stuff, which is also okay. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be like, oh, I should be living my life like them and being depressed. And, you're on social media watching this person living this certain type of life. Like, man, I wish I had that. Whole time you're missing the fact that you have a family at home that love and care for you, that happy when you get to the house. But you're too busy scrolling on social media and watching other people's lives. Like take some time to connect with the people that you're around, which I'm getting ready to kind of like jump here a little bit because there's one of the I was looking at some of the reels that we saved that we want to talk about on, you know, between our podcasts and stuff. And one of them was the Mulan clip that was recently going viral. It's okay. I'm following. I'm gonna catch you up. Don't worry. Okay. I saw your eyes like, huh? Which one? Because we got a lot of stuff saved. But it was a clip where she was in the studio and J. Cole walked in the studio and heard them talking about negativity.
Bro, Mooney Long? Why you say Mulan? That's a Disney character. I was like, what is he talking about? The problem. I know what you're talking about. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
But that's the thing. I really don't follow up with celebrities and stuff like that. So I said her name incorrectly. Positive.
No. You know I don't lie to you. You're not sure I wouldn't put you. No. I wouldn't put you on. She's real deal.
She's what?
She's real deal. R&B. Like her skills is.
No, I know her. Yeah. I know her music and stuff like that.
Oh, I just don't know her celebrity.
I just don't be saying her name. I to know exactly how
Mulan. I thought you started look. I had vision. I was like, dang, she watched the movie, the real life movie. I just watched the trailer with my dad the other day.
No, I just because you know it has a unique spelling. Like I've seen the name, but I'm not listening to people pronounce it. And you know, so I've heard her song, but I'm not. So the pronunciation is just
people say Mooney Long, people say Money Long. You said Mulan. You put two words together.
That's okay, but and I did say I said it confidently because I mean that's minor.
You sure did.
That's minor. The whole point is y'all know who we're talking about by now. The point is. She was talking about, you know, she was in the studio and they were talking negativity, and J. Cole walked in and realized that they on a frequency that he's not trying to hear that. He doesn't want to invite that into his space, into his orb, and he walked out of the studio. And I'm just like, people, you know, it's going viral because a lot of people are realizing, like, man, why did he do that? Some people get it, and some people are just thinking like, oh, it might be. I don't know what they're thinking. I don't really care what y'all are thinking. Yes, I do. I'm kidding. Comment what y'all are thinking. How about that? But. You know, it was just like a lot of people don't realize the depths of why she shared that. She was sharing it like, because I'm not saying that, I'm doubt that she's negative all the time. You know, she just happened to be having a conversation.
She just had a moment. She's human.
And then she realized how much it triggered someone that she was looking forward to working with. And now I'm pretty sure that allows her to be more intentional when she's in certain spaces like, okay, there's going to be a time and a place for it. If I do need to vent or talk about something negative, I'm going to make sure I hold that in a space where I'm not trying to do something productive. Right? Because there's going to be times when we're humans, right? I have moments where I'm negative, or I might, you know, come at somebody sideways or something like that. But again, there's a time and a place for it. So if I'm preparing to do something positivity or to be creative, like I want to be very intentional about the atmosphere that I'm in. I want to make sure the people that are around me is on the same type of time mentally. You know what I'm saying? And even if they're not where I'm at, they're at least being intentional of getting there for themselves or whatever their, you know, cap is or whatever it is. Because everybody, you know, there's different levels for everybody. All right, so I'm going to wrap up on this question. Now, if you could go back and give yourself advice before graduating, knowing what you know now, what would you say to yourself?
Don't worry about the future. Take it one day at a time. The work you put in, and I keep saying this, but like if we're both overthinkers and we sometimes think too far ahead. And I would say this actually, everything I learned, it's great. It's going to sound like so elementary, but everything I learned from my high school basketball dreams of like working hard to trying to prove myself to failure, everything I realized, like, that's why it's helping me now. Like, even though I get this, even when I, like you said earlier, when I was getting to points where I would get too down on myself if something didn't go perfect, I still wouldn't. I wouldn't get down on myself as hard as when I used to in basketball. Like basketball, I used to like cry, you know what I'm saying? But I would, you know, get down on myself. All right, how are we gonna do better? How are we gonna fix it? Brush myself off and get back on the horse. Versus in basketball, sometimes I had to take 2 or 3 days off. I had like either a bad game or, you know what I'm saying? Just because I was like, yo, I can't make it unless I'm perfect. Like every single moment has to be perfect. I learned that every day ain't gonna be perfect. The only way to truly chase perfection is just keep going, keep going, and just giving your all. So yeah, if I had to tell myself, take it one day at a time. Don't worry about like how far. Well, shoot, it worked out because that was my intention, was like to build a foundation my junior year to where senior year opportunities are coming to me instead of me begging for opportunities. So in a sense, it worked. But I guess I'm glad. Low key, I didn't go as hard on it as a lot of people I've seen do it. Like it could burn you out mentally, emotionally, just going there. Like it did with me with basketball. So, yeah, just take it one day at a time. Like it's gonna come. Like if you have the dream, you have the passion, you have the drive. Most importantly, the discipline, and aligns with what you want to purposefully do in life. It's gonna happen. Just take it one day at a time. It might not be the puzzle piece might not be all there together right now, but like you're gonna see it day by day, and then when you look back at it later, you're like, dang, I started off with just scattered puzzle pieces. Now I'm like a couple, 3, 4, 5 pieces away. So,
and the idea behind perfect or what it means to be perfect is an illusion. There's always room for improvement. Right, so you shouldn't be like, oh, I'm trying to get to perfect. Focus on trying to improve, and I promise you, you'll be perfect. Ooh, you like that one? Yeah, I knew you like that one. Okay, I'm gonna put that one on the shirt. I'm kidding. That's a running joke with me and him. Every time I say a good one-liner, I tell him I'm gonna put it on the shirt, and we're gonna sell some merch. Now, I know I said I was going to end on that, but while you were talking, I remember something else that you said earlier, and I wanted to kind of like touch on it, which is a think piece. He was mentioning about, spirituality, which is going to be the next episode that I have with Jay. Maybe not the next one, but it's definitely going to be one of the episodes. I've been kind of like, it's a conversation I've been wanting to have with you. And I'm glad that you mentioned it earlier, that you feel like now you're leaning into it because you're starting to see some of the things that I've shared with you about spirituality or having a spiritual relationship with God. Because some people take the word spirituality and turn it into a whole different concept. But this little thing piece that I'm getting ready to share is about people who are trying to get people to believe or understand what it means to have a relationship with God. You can't force feed them the information. You can't push God down people's throat. And when you shared with me that you weren't sure yet how you feel about all of that stuff, I was just like, you know what, I totally get that, having coming from the church and knowing that sometimes people walk away from the church because people are trying to force God down their throat without helping them to understand what it even means or what God means or what God can mean for them. So it's important to plant little seeds and then watching them grow. Because when you share that, the camera gonna catch me. I was over here smiling like a proud auntie. Because I'm just like, I haven't, we don't talk about it a lot. We don't go deep into it all the time. I'll share some little things and I'll plant little seeds and I'll, share things that are going on in my life and how that relates to my relationship with God. And then now you're starting to see it for yourself. And ultimately, I'm, wanting for you to be able to have that relationship with God where you can kind of like talk about it, confidently or be sure what that means for you. And again, we'll go deeper into on another episode. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you so much for coming in here. And without further ado, I did this on my last.
Oh shit! I forgot about it.
I know. I did this on my last episode. I keep on forgetting because the conversation just goes and flows. So I need you to close your eyes and lean forward.
She locked me in the bathroom before this. I just want to let y'all know. She told me to close my eyes and go in the bathroom.
So lean forward and close your eyes. Okay. Ugh.
She got me some candy, y'all.
It is candy. JK. So here. You took your glasses off.
I say you better not be giving me Nathaniel's Halloween candy, bro. Like,
Halloween candy is crazy. In January? Okay. So I wanted to give you your flowers. Don't do that. Are you fake crying?
Yeah, I am.
I wanted to give you your flowers. One, say thank you for coming to this episode with me. Congratulations on graduating.
These real.
Flowers, you thought it was fake?
They got cold. I was like, oh shit. But I'm not gonna take care. I'm gonna take care of them though.
They only gonna last for a couple weeks.
Bro. Oh, for real? Even if I water them?
Yeah, they're gonna eventually die. Some, I want to say maybe 2-3 weeks at the most. But these have not bud yet, right? So I wanted you to get the opportunity to watch these bloom, just the way I've gotten to see you bloom, in the short time that I've gotten
you got even public stuff.
Nah, it was Kroger. But chill.
I'm just glad you gotta get my phone. I'm messing up your outro.
No. It's all laughs and giggles at this point. But the point of it is, giving you your flowers now. Not waiting until the end of your journey. And you're appreciated that I see you and keep on going. I'm rooting for you from the sidelines always. And
sideline, we in the driver's seat together.
That too.
But I see what you're saying. I got you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that was it. You holding like a little baby.
She got me flowers.
Now I gotta say cheese. That's gonna be the thumbnail too.
No, chill.
One of these pictures is gonna be the thumbnail because I'm gonna screenshot the end of this, and it's gonna be the thumbnail. But yeah, that was it. So I'm proud of you though, for real.
Okay,
real talk.
Appreciate that, Shamika.
So that's what all of this represents.
It means a lot to me, for real.
Yeah, and that's why we almost canceled like 3 different times this episode on today.
Oh, this is why you wanted.
But I couldn't cancel because I'm like, bro, if you don't get these flowers today, they not gonna make it.
She's gonna give me some dead flowers in the next episode. These ones alive.
I'll just have to buy some new ones. But I'm just like, nah. And I'm getting ready to go on my trip tomorrow, so like, I didn't want them to go to waste. You know what I'm saying? I wanted you to get your flowers. So
I appreciate that.
Give your people their flowers, okay? Like I'm trying to set examples here of how to be I don't know. That's it, y'all. Tune in next week or something like that. Oh, I'll drop all the links of stuff, down. I'll drop the links to his podcast where you can find him at. Check him out. He got some great content over there. And you guys will definitely be seeing some more of JayRay here in the group chat.
Cooking with
this is my brother
JayRay.
and them. No, my twin and them. This is my twin and them. He keeps me young, y'all.
Bro, cut it. I'm not even going to repeat it. You already know what I'm about to say.
It's a wrap. She's not that old.
Yeah.
But no, the reason why I say that is because saying like twinning them and the verbiage that I use with you is not normal for me. It's not,
you got a son. You got a...
No, not because I got a son, because I'm Jamaican. We do not talk like that.
Oh.
Like nobody.
Well, you an American now, baby. You better adapt.
No, none of the people that I'm like close to, we don't use that verbiage.
Even the people at MLK, they never said stuff like that?
At MLK, maybe, not twinning them, maybe.
Oh yeah, twinning them is kind of new.
Twinning them is new. Yeah, that's new. Yeah. So it's like, dang, the young kids say that. Like so when I say that, I'm just kind of like joking. It's just the verbiage. It's kind of like weird for me. But when I say it with you, now I've gotten okay with saying it with you. And so it's like, yeah. All right. And now it's a wrap, y'all. I'm probably going to cut I don't know. I might just use this as some clips, some bloopers.
You're doing so good now. You're overthinking, bro.
I'm not. No, I'm just trying to see like where I'm going to cut it because I said I was done like 10 minutes ago. So this is probably just going to be the bloopers. So, but all right, I'm done. All right, y'all. Cut.